Okay, let's talk about gimbals. And these two specific gimbals I want to talk about really have a place, an origin in my gimbal world and exploring what they can do and how I can utilize them for content creation, for our family stuff. And we have the DJI Osmo 6, and we also have the Zhiyun Smooth 5S. So I got these two gimbals at the same time. I ordered them the same time, got them the same time, utilized them the same time. And really, it was a head-to-head between these two. And it was kind of a clash between quick, rapid deployment and ease of use over, say, a little bit more professional type device that needs to be balanced, needs to be fine-tuned a little bit, but can get kind of different results and in some degree better results. And it was a way up and a toss up between the two of them on which direction we were going to go with a gimbal. Now, since then, I've tried out, I think about four. I have another video going through the four and which order I liked all of them. But these are the two that really kind of got me started in the gimbal world. And I was so impressed when I got the Osmo. I was like, okay, it's quick. You open it up, you attach your phone, and it balances straight away. You don't have to mess around balancing it. And you can go and you can do these cool shots, and you can get this and the app and the way it integrates and the different shots that the AI or you can hit a time lapse impressed me. Then I kind of researched a little bit more. You started using more the Smooth 5S and found that there is some limitations with them types of gimbals, the Osmos and the Insta360 Flows, kind of a category of themselves for mobile gimbals that are quick deploy, and you attach a magnetic thing to your phone and attach it to the device. So they kind of fell into one category, and then you had like the Zhiyun Smooth 5S and the Hohem iSteady MT2, which is what I have now. Where the biggest point for me of wanting to create content and which one I was going to go with ended up being in the range of movement I could get with one and not the other. So the Smooth 5S basically was almost unrestricted. Depending on the phone you had sometimes and the orientation you had it, sometimes that phone can clip the top of the bottom of the frame as you're doing different shots. But if you're orientated just correctly, you would clear all of the different frame points in which it could connect. And you could get full range of movement. And really, it's when you're going from a really low shot and you're going really high. So I'd say down to the ground and up, where something like the Osmo 6 or the Flow, in which I have, that restriction is still there. And I actually have the Flow right here. So to demonstrate, when you're doing this type of motion, when it's on, you're hitting a limit right here. And this basically starts tilting the phone at that point. You're hitting a solid limit where the gimbal won't go any further. You hit it, the phone tilts. So when you're doing a low to high shot, you're not going to be able to capture because you're low and you hit a point, and now the phone's just pointing, your lens is pointing to the ground instead of keeping a steady shot as you're doing this and then being able to get up. That's it. That's kind of where my sticking point came in with the Osmo, the DJI Osmo 6. And then the Zhiyun, or the Smooth 5S, that one didn't have that restriction. You could do whatever movements you wanted, and the thing looked cool. And yes, it was a little bit more to have to balance it. It's basically a cross between the convenience of just attaching your phone to these magnetic mounts, or having to do a little bit more, setting it on a level ground, steadying the three different motors, making sure it's steady, and then going with your, filming. And I end up in that scenario, in that the first two that I end up getting, going with the Smooth 5S. That was the one I went with. And I ended up going in a different direction almost instantly after that. I'm going to make a separate video about that and kind of a hint. This is it. And I've also gone in a different direction since then. Two very capable and different gimbals that personally I put side by side, and I had to put them both through the paces and figure which one do I like the most. And of course, with the DJI one, it has an extendable neck just like the Flow does, and you can tilt it. So that gives you some different options. But yeah, the limitation of that tilt axis at that point in time really got me. The tracking was fantastic on both. One was a little bit better than the other, and I'll say the Smooth 5S was a little bit better than the DJI, though obviously the DJI has a lot of history in tracking with their drones and different products. But in that instance, I felt like the Smooth 5S did better with the tracking. So that was the head-to-head I had to put together, the winner of the two would have been the Smooth 5S in that instance. Two great gimbals, would recommend either one of them, but they both serve different purposes. If it's a little bit more casual, a little bit more, say, social media and vlogging, maybes, just maybes, the DJI would be the better one. But if it's a little bit more everything I just mentioned, plus, say, professional shooting or semi-professional or hobbyist type videography, then I would think in that case, most people would probably go with the Smooth 5S. And the fact it's got a light on the front now, and it's cool. If you look at it, and I'll put some pictures up, I think it looks like a lightsaber. I think it just looks a nice piece of equipment that you can utilize for videography. So that's my take on them two specific gimbals. Hope that helped. Bye.